So hey, Frank Paris here. The video that will either precede or postseed, whichever would precede, proceed. Okay, I don't know if there's a postseed word, but if there is, I just made. If there isn't, I just made one up. Post the tutorial afterwards, okay, or before, depending on how I feel. I want to put it on here. Is going to be at this monster in the box that I created a number of years ago, and the if you go up on YouTube, you type in "monster in a box," you will see sophisticated monsters in the box, big boxes, small boxes, that kind of thing. If you're a magician, I've seen monsters in the box that are as big as a chalet substitution trunk, and even bigger. So people put those things on their lawn. I wanted to make one that was kind of portable. I mean, you can literally lift this whole thing up and take it with you anywhere you want to put it. Now, I have a magic class, and the class for October is October 30th, 2024. So I'm going to bring a couple of Halloween kind of scary kind of magic tricks with me, and I'm going to bring this monster in the box to show people. And then I have a video which I can put on my projection, portable projection guy, and just I bring that with me also, and I can display how it functions inside if anybody wants to see it. So it's the day before Halloween. Is my next class at my school. So, but let's just get to the. This is an update actually because I've added smoke to the unit. The unit now has smoke, and let's talk about the outside first. You can see that. The outside has the chains on it, and these guys chains. You go to Home Depot and you buy, or Lowe's, or wherever you are, what country you're in, whatever hardware facility you have for buying things. You can buy. Some people actually buy plastic chains, which is okay with me. If you can get them in silver, that's great. But if they come in other colors, then you can get those because maybe they have children around and they're afraid the kids are going to get a little cut and scratched by touching these things. I dremeled when I cut these, I dremeled the edges off. So if you do touch it, it's going to be rounded. And I leave the chains on there, you know. So now this is going to go outside of my house near my door, so somebody doesn't just up and run away with it. And there is an electric eye, which I put in, I installed right here. Now this electric eye is supposed to work. Unfortunately, I bought 3 new electric eyes in the last couple of years, and they function in that when you turn on the unit, it makes the motor go, and then when you put your hand in front of it, it activates the motor, but it doesn't shut off. There's little timers in this motion controller that supposedly is supposed to make you, depending on if you send it for 1 minute or 5 minutes or whatever, it's supposed to run for 1 minute or 5 minutes or whatever until somebody walks in front of it again, and then it activates for another 1, 5, or 10 minutes. These don't work. Now, I went to YouTube and I looked, and they said that these motion sensors will only work on DC 12 volt transformers, which means it's being constantly supplied with 12 volt DC, and there's no interruptions. With a battery pack, which is what I'm using for this to make it portable, apparently that's a iffy kind of subject. It's an iffy kind of thing that may or may not work. I haven't been able to get it to work, and I'm not going to disassemble it. I'm not going to take the electric eye out just to do that. It looks kind of spooky because if I put a little dot on the front, it may look like an eye, or if I kind of art into there, some kind of an eyeball or something like that, it'll look cool. People will be able to see that. Okay, so now we're still talking about the outside. The box I didn't make. I just bought this box. I saw it at Hobby Lobby, and I bought the box. And I just sliced into the box with a circular saw these grooves so you can see inside the box a little bit. And some of these monsters in the boxes are just incredible. They have it's you can literally see through it, and you see some kind of creature crawling around inside or something, some kind of animatronic type of thing. And I thought about that, but at some point you have to stop and say to yourself, "Hey, this is, I mean, as far as I want to go." I mean, I was being anal about it when I first built it, but now I've kind of just said, you know what, it's enough. So we got the smoke coming out of it. We got some red lights coming out of it. We've got the growling coming out of it. We've got the shaking coming out of it. The box shakes, which I'm going to go into all of those things, and also you hear the lid flopping up and down, that kind of thing. So all of that is in there already, and you're not going to scare a grown up. You're not going to scare a teenager. You're going to, maybe a little kid maybe get, ooh, gee, what's in there? So, I mean, I just spent 5 minutes and 56 seconds on this, and I want to move on. So basically that's all there is to the box. And there's some hinges on the back, which will, let me go back here. You'll see they're connected to these cup hooks to keep the chains on. And the templates, let me just mention, oh, by the way, there's an on-off switch here, which turns on the unit completely, and I'll get to that in a second. Just remember the on-off switch. And we come back. Now, the caution sign and the danger sign are stencils you can buy on Amazon. Just type in caution or danger kind of thing. I mean, you can even get nuclear kind of stencils and stuff. But I just got the caution and danger, and I just spray painted black on top of a gray, which I spray painted gray on that kind of thing. So basically that's all there is to it. This little thing is just a little round square thing that I happen to have lying around. But you can put any kind of a thing on here. And again, you could open that up, and it could be an eyeball, because for some reason these motion detectors don't seem to work. And I've got a couple. I mean, I've got, I don't think I had one available here. I've had two versions. I have this version here, which, like I said, doesn't work. I was testing out one last night with a light bulb and a 9-volt battery and that I had hooked up. And then I tried this one. This kind of worked for a while, but then again, it stopped working, and that's it. Now, what's the most important part of this kind of a thing, this monster in the box, which you're at this point still at 7 minutes and 48 seconds don't know what it is? Okay, well, the most important part for me is the template. So if you were to go online and look for a monster in the box template, okay, some kind of a stencil, some kind of a graphic of it, you will find pages where you can print out this stencil, this thing, and then transfer it to a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch, probably a 1/2 inch is better, a 1/2 inch piece of wood, and use a bandsaw to cut out this particular sign, this particular shape. And then what you would do again is sand it down around the edges and file it down, that kind of thing. When this is activated, this is like a cam, and you can look up the word cam. It basically means this is a non-electronic cam. Okay, it's not like Arduino or programming or anything. This is a cam, a mechanical cam that activates something, and we'll get to what it activates in a second. So you can see that this is what you want to get. This is the heart and soul of your monster in the box. And if you get this particular piece like this, the stencil, just print it out and then transfer that stencil. Just cut around the printout and then put that on you can even glue it onto a piece of wood, and then take a bandsaw and cut around it. And that's for the people who have tools and have the ability and technical know-how to do kind of stuff like this, like I do. Some of it's self-taught, some of it I went to school for, just to be able to do it. But that's it. That's the Monster in the Box template. This one is smaller. If you look at this one here, side by side, you'll see that this one is smaller. Actually, no, I correct myself. They're both the same size. Both the same size. This one here is 1/4 inch. This is 1/4 inch, and this one here is 1/2 inch. I decided to go with, I think, 1/2 inch. I'm not sure. I got to look at my box. Not the 1/4 inch. And I made a couple of extra just to have in case one of them breaks or it stops, it get worn out and that kind of thing. Okay, so that's very important. That's the Monster in the Box template. And you would do a Google search on that and look for the Monster in the Box template, and you would find it, and you would use that inside the box to do something, which I'm going to show you in a minute or so. Okay, so now let's open up the box. Take the chains off here. We'll just move the chains. Put the chains over here. Okay. So we got the chain. We'll take that one off and just drop it. Now inside the Monster in the Box. Oh, I know it's going to look complicated, but for somebody who knows how to do wiring and soldering and and securing of clips onto wires, it's not a big deal. Okay. So inside, there's that template I was telling you about right here. There it is. Okay, and it's attached to a motor. Now, the C clamp that keeps the motor in place is not this one. This is a smaller one, but you would go to your hardware store or Home Depot or Lowe's if you're in this country. I don't know about other countries, how many countries have Lowe's or Home Depots, but you would just go and find this in the hardware aisle. If you could find somebody to say you need a C-clamp, and these are used in, I guess, for a lot of different things, but mostly they're used to keep pipes affixed to a wall or something like that, like an electrical pipe or a gas pipe, that kind of thing. So this is what you want. It's a C-clamp, okay? And the C-clamp holds the motor that you see here onto this piece of wood, this block of wood. Let me see if I can get in there. This is going to be, this is a block of wood. If I kind of go over here like this, which has been mounted to the bottom, glued and screwed into the bottom of the, and this holds one end of the C-clamp. And then, of course, it holds the other end of the C-clamp with screws. So we have what they call, if you look over here, these little metal clippy things. I don't know what they're called, but if you look at it, you can see, okay, that it's got some teeth on the end of it, on the shaft of it, and then it's got a threaded screw hole. So you can take a screw, which is right here, and you can thread it. I can't do this with one hand, but you can thread it in here. So how do you get this to be inside the wood? Well, you would drill a hole almost the same size as this, and then you would just bang this down gently into the wood. You would drill like a little hole about that deep into this particular piece of wood, which is, I can't get in there again. Okay, so into this piece of wood, which is anchored on the bottom, you can see that, and then you would bang it in here, and then you have a place to screw in your C-clamp on both sides. So you'd have one of these little guys right here. I lost you. There you go. Nope. Here we go. Nope, it's not here. I don't know. Well, you know what I'm talking. Oh, here it is. Right here. One of these guys. You would bang it in gently, and then you'd have that all the way in, and that would be the impetus, the female and male impetus for screwing in and locking the motor into a C-clamp. Okay? So that's how you would do that. Now you've got your motor positioned, and you've figured out a way. You jury-rigged, and that's what I did. This is a MacGyver. If you know what MacGyver was a TV series about a guy who jury-rigged, and it's an expression now. It's folklore. MacGyvered his way to keeping this template, this Monster in the Box template, onto the motor. Okay, with I'm using a screw here. Come on, so you can see there's a screw there going through there, and a couple of lock washers. And that's keeping that really secure and tight. You want that secure and tight. You even want to maybe just glue it. Okay, the only reason I didn't glue this one is I got it in there secure and tight with lock washers. And if it wears out, I can always go to Plan B, one of the Plan Bs here. So, okay, so that's how you get your motor on there. Now, let's talk about the portability and what this thing does. Okay, all the power that comes out of this battery, and I think this is 12 volt DC 7 amp, all of that power, plus and minus, goes to these guys. These are called terminal blocks, okay? Now, anybody who knows how to build anything where they need a power source, a single power source being this one, to branch out to other items that need that same power source, know what a terminal block is. So you would bring the plus and the minus, okay, to the plus and the minus of the terminal block. And then all of these other little screwy things, all of these other guys, would be when you turned on the power supply, and there's a switch in the back, I mentioned that to you. Okay, so you'd come out of the plus here, go to the switch, come out of the other side of the switch, and plug it into the plus, and then you would just run the minus from here directly to the minus of the other terminal block. Make sure these two guys are separated so you don't get any kind of short circuit. This is a sloppy job of, because I did this maybe 5 years ago, of clipping these clips to these wires here, and then these little U-shaped wires, and then screwing them onto here. It's a little sloppy job, I know. I'm much better at it now, but I wasn't 4 or 5 years ago. So now you've got a power source which is feeding a number of terminals, minus and plus, from the DC power source, 12 volt 7 amps, I think this is. I don't want to pull it out, but it's 12 volt 7 amps. You've got two main, again, the plus is going to a switch, and it's coming out of the switch and going over to the plus side, and then the minus is going directly to the minus side. And now, when you turn that switch on, all of the power that's in this battery is going to be here and here. So we can activate the motor that way. We can activate this other guy, which I'm going to explain to you. I'm sorry, let me get down there. I'm not in the right place. Let me stand up. This other guy here, which again is a way of, it gives it there's a functional thing for this unit right here, which, while I'm at it, I might as well discuss it with you. This monster in the box shakes. If I put the video on before the explanation, you would see it shaking. This is one of those on-off, old style 12 volt DC, what do you call it? Vertical car power lock actuators. It's a linear actuator that used to, with remote control fob, you used to be able to unlock and lock your cars, and that's basically what that is. Okay, so what we did is we took a C-clamp again, and we took the C-clamp and we placed the actuator, the linear actuator, car lock piece, okay, in such a position, okay, that when the actuator is actuated, like in the old cars, you hit the button and the lock would come up like this, boop, okay, and your car would be unlocked. And if you hit it again, it would lock it, okay? So basically, that's what we did here. We took the actuator, we placed it in here on a C-clamp, and it goes, the actual tip of it is resting on this table. It's resting on the table. There's a hole in the bottom of the box. I don't know if I could do this, show you without making anything. There we go. See the hole? There you go. The tip of that is hanging over there. So you've got that. And when we hit the button, the remote control button, because we've added a transmitter receiver to this. There's a receiver here. And there's a transmitter here. This is the transmitter. Okay, when I hit the button, it's going to make the box shake, because it's going to push the box up using the lock actuator. Okay, so now again, all of this is very technical for people who have no experience with electronics or electrical things or mechanical things or wiring or soldering and all that other nonsense. But I wanted to make this for those people who do have that experience and for those aspiring people who want to start learning about this stuff, okay? So battery clips and terminal blocks and maybe some LED lights which are in here to give it the glow of red inside are all things that, you know, I've learned over the years to use and so I had that experience with doing that, and that's why I can talk about it as freely as I am and talk about it in such a way that I don't stumble over words and things like that. So, again, the box, if I put the box, which I'm probably going to do, probably going to put the box actually working before I do the explanation. So this way you've already got an idea of what this thing does when you go into the tutorial, which is not really a tutorial. I mean, you've got to know some of this stuff. You can't just, I mean, I can't sit there and screw things in and that kind of thing. Okay, so what's activated by remote control? Well, this little guy down here that shakes the box, that's activated by remote control. My smoke, oh, by the way, let me bring that up. We got a smoke machine, a remote control smoke machine right here. Okay, this guy here, if I turn this guy on, let's just do that. You can see all the smoke coming out of that. Turn it off. Smoke, look at that smoke, huh? Okay, so that's in here to give the effect that the dragon or whatever it is, the creature, whatever it is actually billowing smoke out of his mouth and that kind of thing. So that's there. Comes with a remote control. So you need something like this. Now, you can buy this on Etsy. You can buy one of these. This is my version of it. I've made some modifications to it. But you can buy this exactly as you see it. Okay. I didn't want a momentary switch. I wanted, see, it comes with a momentary switch. And momentary meaning you press the button, and if you release the button, then the smoke will stop. But this one here is I hit the button here, and then I can control and keep it on, or I can turn it off. Look at the smoke here. Okay, so this is a modification to the unit, but you can buy them with on-off A/B switch now. They didn't have it when I bought it. I just changed the transmitter and receiver. So you can buy it that way, stick it in your box, or even use this in your square circle or whatever. If you're a magician or your whatever magic prop you have, you can use this for. I use it in my wand. I have another one for my wand machine when I'm making wands, using the wand machine that Tom Urositz built for me, which is a magic dealer, a creator, inventor, that kind of thing. That's who he is. He's a genius. So, so this is another little added effect. So you got the box shaking, you got the smoke coming out. I mean, some people put hands, when the box goes up and down, that kind of thing. This is what makes the lid. This is what makes the lid go up and down. Because when that's rotating on the box here, when this is rotating, this template here, I would call it Monster in a Box template. Okay, when this is rotating, it's actually lifting the lid. Now, let's just get to this for a second. This is a piece of metal. I don't know what you want to call it. It's just a piece of metal I cut with a pipe cleaner, and you can actually run a screw from here to here, like I did here. And you've got these little L-shaped clips that Home Depot sells. And I hooked that on there so that when you come down, this is going to be lined up with the template. And when you flip the switch, get over there. Oh, it stopped. Why? Because the electric eye is not getting enough power. So now I'm going to put my hand. Now this won't turn off. So, I mean, you can leave it on for as long as the 7-amp battery works. I got to say that the 7-amp battery on something like this, with the way the red lights are, LED lights, this will last for like 4 or 5 hours. It'll just keep doing that for 4 or 5 hours. 6 hours maybe too. Your Halloween is not 4 or 5 or 6 hours unless you start at 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and you go to 10, 11 o'clock. I never do that. We have kids on the block. They come out in the afternoon, some of the younger ones, and then let me just turn that off so you can hear me. They come out at 3 or 4 o'clock, and then by 7:30, 8 o'clock, the younger kids come out, and then they're gone by 8:30. So we don't have that many kids coming, you know? And then we're stuck with all this candy that we eat and get fat watching Netflix and Prime. So, and these are cup hooks, you know, this is to keep the chains on, all right? And again, I was talking to you about the cup hooks that you would have for taking the, you know, your cups. People used to hang their cups up inside their cabinets, but you can buy. These are all things you can get. A lot of the things like the motor, the terminal block, these LED guys, I bought on Amazon, okay? These were all bought on Amazon. Okay, now I have a speaker in here. This is a Bluetooth speaker, and that Bluetooth speaker has the monster sounds. This has the growling monster sounds and stuff like that. If you saw, and I will put that first. If you saw the first video, which is connected to this second video, which is describing everything, you'll note that the monster in the block and the monster in the box sound is coming from a speaker, a Bluetooth speaker. Now let me pull up on my phone. Oh, I can't actually do that. They have Halloween monster. If you go to I have an iPhone. If you go to Android or your iPhone, you go to Google Play on Android or iPhone, and you go to your music download section, ask for Halloween monster sounds. Growling monster sounds. I have, I don't know, I forgot, dragon sounds or whatever it is. And I just downloaded maybe 3 or 4 albums, you know. And I finally picked the one that I wanted. I mean, it's $1.25 a piece for an album, $10 maybe. I forgot what I paid for them. I think I paid $10 for all 3 of the albums. And you've got, like I said, you've got just plain monsters growling or dragons growling, that kind of thing. So that basically covers that. So again, all the power from this 12 volt 7 amp battery is being distributed to this, and that's driving the motor. That's driving the electric eye, which really doesn't work, to be honest with you. And also the unit down here, right here, which makes the box shake. And the smoke machine is separate, and the shaker, transmitter, receiver, okay, are separate in that the transmitter, which is this guy, all right, it can be any kind of transmitter. It could be, this is a momentary transmitter by a company that I used to buy from, but you can buy a momentary transmitter from Amazon and just hit the button and hold it in, and the box will shake, okay, or it'll go up and come down, okay. The gravity and the weight of this makes it come down, okay. And so that's a part of the reasons why you want this. And if you've seen you saw the video before the tutorial, you saw how the box shaked, okay. That's this guy right here. And again, it doesn't have to be this remote. You can just go up on Amazon and buy a transmitter and receiver, okay, transmitter and receiver. Make sure that they're paired, P-A-I-R-E-D. Don't buy the ones that aren't paired, because then you got to play games with pushing buttons and stuff like that. Get a 3 volt to 12 volt. It'll take that much voltage, or that least amount of voltage. Get a 3 volt to a 12 volt, or even 24, 36 volt, because they do have those too. Paired transmitter and receiver, momentary remote control. Momentary meaning when you hit the button and you hold it in for a second, it'll activate whatever you want to, and then when you let go of the button, it'll stop. So you want to do this, 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 and the box will go boop, 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 like that, okay? So that's basically that there, okay? And again, the template, you can look for a Monster in the Box template on Amazon, and you're going to have to MacGyver or jury rig something to this here to make it stay on here. I've got a screw going into a threaded thing here. You can buy those also. You've got to find a guy and tell him, this is what I want to do, you know. And then, of course, this piece here I jammed into the motor. I'm sure there are people who, at this point, are a lot more sophisticated than I am. Probably build even a better one than mine. Make me want to burn mine up. But this does the job. It creates the situation where it's like a haunted box, and it's got growling coming out of it and smoke coming out of it, and red lights like there's a dragon who's got fire in his mouth or something. Game of Thrones kind of thing. So I think I built this during the Game of Thrones series. I'm not sure. But it's portable, it's small, it's 12 volt. This guy is the thing that the this template cam, Monster in the Box template. Oh, just banged my fingers together. This is what rolls as this is going across it. So you got that rolling kind of thing going on. Okay, and that's basically it. That's the Monster in the Box. And again, you will see this before you see this. You will see how this works before you see my explanation. Okay, so this is 30 minutes, and the other thing I think is about 5 minutes of how it works, looking at it working, okay, with the monster sounds and the growling and that kind of thing. So Frank Paris over and out on this. I hope you really like it, and if you want a project, you will not get this finished before Halloween. I mean, I'm not saying that you're not smart enough to get it finished, but you will have to devote a lot of your time on this thing, okay? It took, I would say, but the experimentation and everything else, at least a month and a half before and I knew what I was doing. So, I knew what to get, what not to get, that kind of thing. But I'm playing around with this here, getting that on there, finding the right, just remind you, I would suggest a 30 to a no more than 30, 35 RPM motor, because you don't want this thing going. You want it to be spooky. You want it to go, what I would say. You could get, I would say, I would even go 25 RPMs on the motor, because then it'll do boom, boom, boom. You don't want. Some people do. I mean, you could do that if you want. I mean, I just think it's too much. I want to make it a little bit less. I want to make it more spooky. So that's it. Anyway, Frank Paris over and out on the Monster in the Box. The update. This is the update. If you go back, you'll see Magician Frank Paris, Monster in the Box. You'll see the original videos up on YouTube. You can look at those too if you want. I might have missed something here that was in that one there. So anyway, that's it, my friends. Frank Paris over and out. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a happy Halloween. I know I will. And we're gonna have our next class, Hocus Pocus Magic School, on October 30th, the day before Halloween, and it'll be on Halloween magic and Halloween gadgets and that kind of thing at the Owanto Public Library, Owanto, New York, between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m., which means all the kids have finished swiping and looking at their phones for the day, and now they can come to class and learn some magic from Frank Paris and his other magicians who teach. Take care. Frank Paris over and out. Thank you very much for watching.